And may I select to be praised to whom all praise are due is the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated Women Auxiliary presents Empress Sadi Saunders.
Greetings and blessings. This is Sadi Gomez and Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, Local 26 Women Auxiliary, coming to you live and alive on this wonderful summer Sunday evening. It's a wonderful evening of almost 90 degrees or 90 degrees and plus for some people in some areas. It's a big surprise for us because we have been experiencing 50-degree weather, sometimes even in the 40s, and now it's a really big jump, and we are wondering, what shall we do? But it's the summer Sundays, it's State Sundays, which is your Sundays, as we welcome each and everyone this evening. And of course, we give thanks always to our engineer Charlie, who has been the brainchild of this operation, and he is here with us this evening, and we salute him this evening. And also, we have our other guests coming on. We will introduce them as we go on. And today's, we wonder what we do. What do we do at this side of town? We look at the news, we examine it, and what we say. We have a rug by which things that are normally swept under the rug, we take it out, we examine it, and then we simply put it back. Because it's really none of our business sometimes. But we like to examine things that are here, the news that are given, and it's just for entertainment purposes that we do so, a teaching and learning at sometimes. But there's a lot of things going on and off in the earth today, and some things that we have to definitely be prepared for in such a case where it's definitely need for preparation. And as I say preparation, really some things that are really bizarre to some people, and it would be really some things that for some people they have been waiting for quite a long time. And now we won't keep you in big suspense because on this side, we'd like our audience to know our topic of the evening. We are going to talk about a little bit about the alien life, and what is happening in and around us, or rather under us in some cases. It's a case whereby aliens seem to be a really big topic, but that's not the only topic for the evening. We discuss other aspects of the news, and we have a wonderful topic as well, story time. Things that people just remember that they ought to talk about, stories that are true, but yet unbelievable. As I often said, you do not have to call any names, dates, places, time. Please, if it will bring you any problems, please don't. You're not obligated to say so. You can always tell us. A friend told you, or it was about your brother or your sister in some cases. But we really appreciate story time. This gave us a relaxed moment for things that we just remember from a really very long time ago. So we're going to have that segment. And also, our musicians, which we are so proud of, our local 26 musical unit. We hope that they join in with us from time to time. But they are having a really big occasion coming up, which we're going to advertise as we go along on this very same platform. Our musical director, Peter Shiloh, I know he's here with us on Sundays, so we'll invite him on a little while from now, and then he will tell us a little more about what's happening with the musical unit of Local 26. Because, we do keep the business of the Federation here as well. We speak about the Federation, the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, and now convention is coming up. It's convention time, of which we are having election of officers of the Executive Council. So we, from time to time, going to keep you posted a little bit here on what's happening with the Ethiopian World Federation. And I'm given some big responsibilities as well, of which, I just want to, in prayer, do them and with good help, really execute and make our convention a really remarkable and memorable one. So that's for the Federation, and we invite oftentimes other members from the local of the Federation to join in with us. And sometimes they do. Local 12 has done so, Local 49 has done so, and I believe some other locals, but local one in South Africa has done so. So we are thankful for who are here, and also I must not leave out the international organizer here, taking time off his busy schedule to join us as well one night, of which we're thankful. So we reflect upon things we have done, and we think about things we should do to make the show better, make the show more interesting. But really, we just want to bring the truth on the side. We want to have a Sunday evening. We want to have a family evening, but we want to have a really relaxed type of evening where one can have a platform to really establish what they want to talk about. And we often invite different guests to our show. So feel free if you're listening to, come on at certain times. Some of our guests, they enjoy listening on just the YouTube channel, and some of our guests, they would come on the platform, which we do enjoy because we would have different points of view at times. So this evening, of course, we speak of the alien content. uh, we just wonder why. That for this station, it's somewhere where we must go at different times. We really must go there. Because before now, where it's so very popular, we were talking about the aliens that would sometimes visit our program and take me away sometimes, or take even Shiloh away sometimes. Thank God Charlie stayed put, but I think Charlie got taken once. That was really something, I think, but just once. But once in 7 to 8 years is not really bad. But all the same, we are establishing a point whereby it has become serious enough that pastors of United States, so it just was in New York City, but all around, and this is coming from various pastors speaking out, they were invited to a conference whereby they were told that they now have to introduce alien life to their congregation. So they have to kind of break it to them easy, break it to them gently, because maybe when your pastor can do so, watch you straight in the face, tell you lies, take your money, say hallelujah. So it's the right person to give you that kind of information and to give you it in a soft, very subtle way, because now they will realize that religion was also created to for a purpose. And then, of course, my wonderful studio audience, they want to weigh on some of these things that I'm saying, and also to come back with some more information as well. So basically, we want to know, are they here? The answer is yes. We have established that in our last program that they're in fact here. And some people have made contact with them. And I did invite a few people on the program this evening. And it's a busy summer evening. They're probably their families. I was hoping I had two professionals who really could talk on this subject. But before the day is done and the day is long, we may have those two special guests who really specialize in that kind of topic, because they have been, let's say, studying and making communications as well with such other life, other beings. But yes, they do exist. And from several understanding, as I was sitting at various times with various groups, they would let me know, and I come to learn as well from other intelligence, that there are actually 7 species of beings that could be identified somewhat humanoid or has the ability to communicate. I have also learned that once upon a time, we as humans, when we were functioning within our higher dimension, we ourselves was able to communicate with other species, including dolphins, fairies, mermaids, giants, and so forth. And at that time, when we did not fall so far from grace, we had dominion over all these things. So yet it was not fair, because we were of a higher intelligence, a higher being, but we have fallen from our higher self and has entered into a lower state of being, whereby rather than have dominion over such life forms where we had greater intelligence, and the main factor was, I should say, love. It is simple to just roll off the lips because love has become such a really, what should I say, provocative word, deceitful word, a word using convenience, that the real true meaning of love has really lost its purpose. Only purpose and strength to those who have used it in this authentic way, who have felt or the real depths of true love. So we as beings have to return to that dimension of love. And that is not the I love you that roll off our lips that we have been doing with our human nature allow us to do because it gets us through places. Because everybody want to feel love. So love is also conveniently used because it sounds good to the ear of those who, the recipient. But true love, heartfelt love, is what is going to help us to exist on the fifth dimension. And that is the story that the aliens, or rather the other beings of the outer world, have come to speak to us. I understand, however, within the balance of things, they are not all good, benevolent. Some could be diabolic, and I do understand that as well. I don't know how to say right now we will discern, but I pray, and we should all be praying that if another life force come among us, let us relax ourselves to know it was just vain thinking that we should be here alone in this vast universe. You mean there's not a creation? You mean Father would just like lay back and just made human being? Oh no, no, no. Because if human beings themselves with their great brains is trying to make a whole lot of other things in the lab, you know Father in his great invention, and he owns a creation, and he don't have to but just will something into being. He would have within this vast universe other life forms, which I am sure he created and it was designed to live in harmony with us. But of course, man in his evil, wicked self, have destroyed Earth. Oh, no, no, they haven't destroyed Earth. I stand corrected. They are trying with, their destruction of various aspects of the Earth where the bombings has gone and drilling in some places they shouldn't. And, some rainforests that they may try to cut down some trees in some areas. And, we speak of a land like Haiti where the trees were destroyed. But, we don't want to just go to some one island and just talk about it. But we speak of the destruction of mankind where the earth is concerned. So we do understand for those who really love the earth, understand the earth and know that the earth is in fact alive. It's a being herself. It's alive and should be treated with respect. Mother Earth. And this is, we could get in depth with that teaching for another day. But we just wanted to lost my thought from right here. But we are speaking of the other beings that are coming that would be able to teach us about love. And it was so funny because this could be AI, and we wonder what is AI as well. So that's another topic we can touch on as well for the evening. The alien somehow has, I don't know how come, but he has a page on TikTok. They have a channel on TikTok. And in speaking, because one young woman, she seemingly has communication with them, and she's bringing this message. I was quite hysterical because it seems that now it's the alien file, and the alien reported, don't concern yourself too much with the UFO file. Why don't you concern yourself with the Epstein file? And that was funny. So I don't know if that was the alien speaking, or that was AI, or that was fake news, because right now We really don't know. We just don't know. We don't know what is real news. I mean, we used to have real news when we had certain people around, because I must say, we must mention, you know, a brother from another mother and father, Mr. David Wilcock. There was some interesting news that he brought about the very topic that we are attempting at this time. And he was quite clear in what he said concerning alien, the communication, the encounter. He even went on to talk a little bit about Stonehenge, for who knows a little bit about Stonehenge. Those are some things we can talk about as well. And these are some of the strange things that are seemingly happening. And we also want us to be touching upon strange things and stories, and of course the news. We know, well, for an important part of the news, but we will get there because, we touch all aspects. We also speak of the alien life. We speak of the Bermuda Triangle. I was in a chat earlier on, so some of my people in the group, my associates in the group, they did mention as well of some people really having serious news that cannot really be mentioned in regular news about the Bermuda Triangle and what it really means, and or what or what is housing there, I should say, not what's the meaning of it, because a lot of people know or have heard at some point in time about the Bermuda Triangle, and this is an area, I believe geographically, close to the Bahamas or somewhere there in that region. But it's a place that holds mysteries as far as disappearance of planes, mainly, and people who attempt to cross. So that's an area that is known for its mystery and has not been quite explained, or if there has been documents of such, of this phenomenon, it has not been publicly known. But now as we speak, and Charlie often speak of the age of Aquarius. Indeed, we are here, and things are really unfolding, and things has to be told. There's no way things can be held back anymore, and that's just the way it is. So we know at some point things has to be told, and it will be, and things will surely be exposed as we go along in a serious sort of way, because it must. And talking about things being exposed, there's a movie, I should say, that has come out, because it has been coming out quite a while, but I believe it's here now. The movie is called Disclosure. I would like very much to see this movie, seeing that some people I know have seen it and they talk a lot about it. I was just able to see the trailer, which is just 2 to 3 minutes, sort of. But you get the gist of the whole thing. There's some really great actors playing the part. Emily Blunt is in there, some other great actors as well. So I believe I really want to take a look at what's happening. See, in this movie, it's about one guy, it's always one guy, who discovered documents, I believe 162 pages of it, and he said he is going to expose all of it. These are documents of things about the truth. I don't know from which agency he achieved these documents or inherited these documents from. It must be one of those alphabet agencies, and the ABCIA kind of ones. And we are still wondering what, because a lot of people said you must see this movie. So I don't know enough to disclose much about it, but it's concerning the fact that he has discovered information that is true about alien life and some other truths that has been hiding from us for quite a long time. So I don't want to bore you with any more information. It was not boring, but I'm going to bring in my other guest who has taken their time off to come and join us. So Charlie, would you bring in our other guests? To welcome to the show for this evening. We welcome Peter Shine. Hi, how are you doing this
Hey,
evening?
greetings and blessings. Big up Charlie the engineer and all who listening and who online or whatever. Enough love and respect and honor. Yes. The topic there is very interesting because it's surfacing everywhere, this alien thing, definitely. Right now we have to be very careful, open minded, open eyes, because it's a reality and we have to deal with it. You understand? What is happening now is they are all over the place. No joke about it. People, even the president, the government, they can't hold back this thing no longer. You just got to tell the people the truth, and the truth will set the people free. These aliens, they are surfacing. They ain't keeping back, and it's a fact. They got to let the people know what's happening. They've been seen by pilots. They've been seen by all kind of people, various different places. I even think I saw them in my dream also. I dreamed them twice. So when they say that a dream is more serious than reality. When you dream something, it will come true. So this alien thing, the people need to be wise up and don't stress or fret out yourself about, you know. All them have to do educate the people about the alien because they are here with us and they ain't going nowhere. You understand? Nowhere at all. But a lot of people is afraid and terrified, by these things which is happening. But it's just reality, it's prophecy. The Almighty speak these things, and Father God said, whatever He speaks has to come reality. So now this is the age of knowledge and technology and revelation also. This is the age to take the people out of the dark and let them get into the light. You understand? They have to educate the people about these clonings. And again, they are clonings. They are people looking like us, which they are not us. You understand? So that make people terrified. These cloning vibration, you know. But I would say I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid because I've been exposed to the prophecy and to the history, and I watch news too, and I've been following what the president have been saying. He has to release these alien files because he knows it is the truth. He knows what is happening, and he doesn't want the nation to hold him in guilty of. You understand? Whatever information the people should know, he's letting it out. He's opening the eyes of the people, and I give thanks for that. Because when persons are in darkness, it's not a good thing at all. You know, the truth will set you free. So I respect the president. He's setting himself free. So people out there, brace yourself for reality and prophecy, and be not afraid. Right? Be not afraid at all. This is the age of revelation, technology, and prophecy. I want to say something about the musical unit also. Our musical unit, the Ethiopian World Federation Local 26 musical unit, we are having a talent search, which this talent search will help us to increase our membership. And I think this is a very good thing that the organization is doing. We need young blood, young people, more people into the organization. So the musician of the local 26 music unit, they are doing a great job. So I lift up my hat to them. It's not me alone, but others. And we have this show coming up, our second anniversary show, which is coming up. So we are busy planning and making arrangement for that also. And we also with the talent show, we wanted to do it online, but there was a slight setback because of certain, but we overcome that now. We have a solid link and contact where people can, get more information and up to date about the talent search. We have given out some flyers already, but I had a little delay medically, so I will be out soon, giving out some more flyers. But now we have a permanent number, which people can contact us online. So we have that going. So we are busy right now planning the talent show and our second anniversary show, which is going to be on the 18th of July, which is going to be bigger and better. I assure you of that. So we're doing things, and we just want the other members to unite and participate, and get involved in the upliftment and the progressing of the organization, because we can't do it by ourselves. It's the unity of us is going to do that. You understand? United we stand, divided we fall. So we got to unite and push the mission of His Imperial Majesty to forward. Together we're going to do it, because this is not for no individual. It is for the generation which is to come. We are trying to lay a foundation that the black people of the world can have life easier, life better, more progress, more self-reliance. You understand? And more money, more everything for themselves. That we don't have to depend on other nations. His Imperial Majesty create this organization for us to help ourselves, build our family, build our people, especially the generation which is to come, to leave a legacy for them. Yes, when nothing ain't leave for you, you gotta struggle so hard and suffer. When something is left for you, your life will be easier. So Ethiopian World Federation Local 26, that is what we are doing. The musical department, we see the music. The music can do a lot. And that is what we are doing right now. We are, busy working in the field to get this thing off for the 18th of July, you know. So we just advise the rest of the people to unite and come on board, make this thing be a success. Blessed love, enough love and respect.
We thank you so very much. Now it's Peter Shiloh, our musical director of Local 26. And we do thank him so much. As he said, the musical unit is in fact making us proud. And we encourage the other musical units of the other locals as well to join in our second anniversary concert to be held on July 18th, 2026 at in a Harlem area, 130th Street at Normal. And this is going to be historical for us. And also, we held the historical place. It's our give back to Harlem as we celebrate knowing that Local 26, Harlem is our jurisdiction. Understand we really want to get a little more of the locals involved and a little more of the neighbors in that area, Harlem area as well. So we have a lot of work to do and we're going to be moving on. So we welcome each and everyone to the show this evening, and for everyone who's here, it's your show as well on Sunday evening. We have our guests come on and they speak of various topics that we have laid out when we first opened our program in the very first segment. But we welcome our guests to speak of anything they want to speak about this evening, because we are doing what we call story time. And this involves stories that you once heard to be true, but it's so unbelievable you wonder about it. But I want to welcome Charlie to the show this evening to weigh in a little bit on our topics. Charlie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Um, I was listening to you talk earlier about a couple of things I want to respond to. I want to talk about the aliens. But first, I'm going to talk about David Wilcock because you had mentioned that to me today, and I had meant to look into it and see. So I looked real quick. There's an article, the one article I've read, and already that article is raising red flags for me. And my spider senses are going off, and it's telling me something is not right. Right? So let me just read a little bit of this article if you don't mind. So you
Okay.
can hear it and then we can talk about it. Says David Wilcox, a paranormal writer. David Wilcox, a paranormal writer and ancient alien television personality, died at the age of 53 on April the 20th, 2026, from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Law enforcement responded to a 911 call Wilcox made about health and financial struggles. He called 911 to tell him he wasn't feeling good and he was having financial problems, which ended in his death at his home near the Netherlands, Colorado. It says the incident on April 20th, 26 at 10:44 a.m. local time, Wilcox called the Border County Communications Center and mentioned health and financial concerns. Deputies responded to his residence where he died by suicide shortly after they arrived. Something's wrong with that.
The 2 minutes after, the 2 minutes after they arrived, how he was unalive?
All of a sudden, he was unalive, right? After they arrived. So when they got there, he was alive. Okay.
Yeah. Because he called them.
Right, because he called them. Now, who commits suicide and call the police?
David Wilcox.
Ahead of time.
David Wilcox.
That's serious.
It's a first.
Who is an award-winning writer of paranormal activity, do not write a suicide note.
That's the first thing come to my mind.
A writer.
Why didn't he write a note?
He called the police.
Man committing suicide, not calling no cop.
Right. And you're not on the phone talking about you got health problems. You're not on the phone talking about you got financial problems.
What did you call the bank?
You a famous personality.
But he should have called the bank, or he could have a GoFundMe.
Listen, there's a million things he could have done. A million things he could have done. If he's having financial, he could have sold his television network.
Yeah.
But what man commits suicide and call the cop?
Right. What man commits suicide and call the police?
Yeah, that's not fitting, brother. That not fitting no thought.
How are you a writer and didn't write a suicide note? So something about this is not adding up, and I'm about ready to put this in the category with the missing scientists. Oh, did I say that? Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. We got scientists that are missing, y'all.
Well, I just spoke about that. There are some people missing, and I saw it in the news. From the people that studies the scientific people that studies the alien. I think some of them gone missing. Yes.
Right.
I saw it in the news. I didn't. Maybe where they at?
Right, where they at?
Maybe,
what a coincidence. They're all scientists.
They leave without saying goodbye.
Right.
All of a sudden, this alien thing comes up, and the people that responsible for the alien department, they are being missing one by one. So that's something we got to look into, or whatever. We look at it and put it back under the rug or something. I heard on news.
I'm waiting every day for it to be announced that there are unequivocally aliens and they on the 6 o'clock news. Okay?
I can have you.
Because
I can have you.
you would have to be foolish. And I realized this many, many years ago. I mean, maybe 40 years ago now, that will have to be awfully foolish to believe that as big as the universe is, I'm not talking the Earth. I'm not talking this solar system. I'm not talking this galaxy. Our galaxy is a small galaxy, right, amongst millions of other galaxies.
Yeah.
Okay? And we are just a speck in our galaxy. What righteous indignation to make you believe you are the superior race and that you're the only one with consciousness? I believe that this is just information that has been fed to us by the authorities and those that know to keep us under control.
Exactly.
Definitely. Definitely. To keep us down, so to keep us in the dark.
Well, everything is most things are designed to keep us in the dark. I mean, if you look at the school system in America, it is not about educating at all. It's simply about creating a labor force.
It's
A
about
wage
colonializing.
earners.
Colonializing, man.
You can have your little job so that the elite can continue to get rich up at the top. And we end this cycle, we go around and around and around and around and around and around and around. But I think that when this all come out, we're going to be surprised about the aliens. I think we're going to be surprised when we realize that some of our co-workers are aliens. You know, the nice little girl that we go to lunch with, you know, is a reptilian. You know what I mean? We just never knew it. You just know she be twitching sometimes for no reason. So I think that a lot of people will be in for a rude awakening. I think, you know, as the scripture says, some men's heart will fail them. We are aware of the fact that you cannot put new wine into an old vessel because the vessel
not at all.
It'll bust because it can't take the newness. So I think, I mean, listen, they're telling us every day. You know, and as we said earlier, the proof is becoming more and more undeniable because all of these doorbell cameras that are out all over America just picking up stuff that it ain't supposed to be picking up and just seeing everything. And we seeing all type of shapeshifters, all type of energies moving around. I've seen people get into a corner and transform into a dog. Okay, I've seen a cat transfer into a person. Just from the ring bell, the ringtone camera, whatever you call them things.
Yes, David.
But that's not new to some people. It's only ones who are in the dark.
Right. I mean, listen, I've long accepted the fact that there's paranormal, what we have determined to be paranormal activity. Okay, I've long accepted the fact that there's something else going on more than what we can see. And I think that, you know, I often looked when I was younger, I used to look at my dog, right? And I realized a lot of times that my dog was seeing stuff that I didn't see and was responding to things that I didn't see, but apparently he saw and was responding to it. So there's always been to me logic that there's something else going on. And then later on, I understand that, you know, you learn that your eye is inadequate and that we can only see 60 frames per second. And so anything moving faster than 60 frames, we can't see. And so since we can't see it, we believe that it don't exist, that it's not there or that it's not real because it's existing in a realm and in a state that's quicker than what we can conceive. That's um basically it. But I think that all of this stuff is about to change. More and more, we get more and more warnings, more and more CIA. I mean, listen, the CIA is putting out reports confirming remote viewing. Okay, the CIA is putting out reports from studies on manifestation and all of these different things, where stuff that some of us have been talking about for 30, 40, 50 years now is just coming out and becoming public information or general knowledge.
That is so true
Well,
because the thing about it that's happening right now, if we should really start to think about some of what we should say UFO files, it has been over 30 years and counting that we have known that there's an area called Area 51, which has been a big secret among the population. But slowly and surely, more and more information and activities have been given coming from that area, coming from the CIA files. Even when there was a special show called, they had Kelly was in it. I can't remember the name right now.
Star Trek, Star Trek.
No, 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 don't not Star, not Star Trek. I don't know if
Oh,
I'm Dr. William might remember it. It was about these files and the concern about secret documents of the CIA. The name was something files. Once I can remember,
UFO.
it's
The X Files,
X files.
Yeah.
the X
Mm-hmm.
Files, yeah,
With the
Yes.
UFO, you used to watch it too. Yeah.
right.
So they had a lot of things that were almost true or very close to the truth of strange things that do happen that they haven't covered. So that's part of, things that they hide in plain sight for us to see. And it's almost like make up your mind about what you think this could be. So the X Files gave us a lot of adventure into what could happen or is happening right around us that really cannot be disclosed at this time. Yes, Shiloh. Every time you talk, you're saying something.
Yes. Back in Jamaica, as Charlie talk about the dog seeing things, they say when you want to see Duppy, put dog matter in your eye. It's just a little slang talk.
Mhm.
If you want to see ghosts, or that's the old time people them say if you want to see ghosts, put dog matter in your eye, and you see a different world. Serious. So these animals they are seeing things that we not seeing. The dog,
Right,
the
The dog,
cat, sometimes you see them moving somewhere is things that we are not seeing. They are seeing. So
absolutely.
definitely they are seeing. Even I was seeing things as a child. I used to see a lot of things, and I'm saying, oh my eyes. Say the quickness of the eye deceive you, and all these things. I've been seeing shadows moving when I was a child. I used to see a lot of things. I didn't want to believe until I become a man. I realized that I was seeing some strange things. No joke about that.
Mhm.
Really and truly. Yeah, I've been seeing things, but I didn't want to believe that I was seeing things.
Right,
But now I become a man. I realize that I've been seeing a lot of things. You
right,
know, but them say that keep it his mouth, keep it his life. So I keep silent because I want to keep my life. But this is the age of disclosure, and a lot of things going to be unfold. What was hidden from the wise and prudent, now revealed to the babe and suckling. That's what the prophecy say now. You understand? So this is what is happening now. They can't hold it no longer. They got Bob Marley said, tell the people the truth. Tell the people the truth. These people are so drunk with the wrong story and with so much lies that they don't have any space for the truth or for the reality. You understand me? Even the name of the Almighty. If you don't know the Almighty right name, you ain't gonna got no powers. Nothing ain't gonna happen for you. His Imperial Majesty speaking Amharic. Because when he speak, things has to happen. If you speak with a different alien, we are Africans, we are Ethiopians, black people. We have to deal with the black God to make things for black God do things for we. We can't call upon a white God for a white God do nothing for we. So we have to know the black God name and call him by his name. The miracle and powers and things happen. You understand? The white man call for him God by him white man name. Don't bring the white man God name to me or to I. You understand? That's why we don't have any powers, because we call in the white man God. Remember, say Christ said when we call on him, he answer and he's there for us. So if we call him a different name, an alien name, he's not gonna beat it. We ain't gonna get no assistance because we call him devil instead of calling the Most High. So the truth is coming out now, and we're gonna get our powers with the truth, and that's what the world is afraid of. Because when we are together, when we are together, that's the greatest power. More powerful than any nuclear. When any nation is together, you can't break them. When any nation is together, that's the power. Nobody can do them nothing. So right now, we just got to brace ourselves and prepare for this ride, which is going to happen. As we say, we are flesh, and the aliens are spiritually higher than us, because the aliens are saying that we are flesh, and they left from a spiritual atmosphere and come to a fleshy atmosphere. So they are looking on us as the minor. You understand? Yes, because they learned how to travel from flesh to spirit. So it seems that we don't have any powers like them. We don't have the knowledge of traveling from flesh to spirit, Charlie. We may have a little, but to dwell in the spiritual atmosphere and come back in the physical atmosphere, we don't have them knowledge yet, or to the fullness, because they
Right.
keep on.
I'm glad you added that to the fullness, because I was going to say that we do have that knowledge deep within us, right? And we are in the process now of coming to that understanding and that realization that we are the one, and that we are, through our spirit and through our soul, divinely connected to the source. However way we identify source, however way we call them God, Allah, Jah, Yahweh, whatever term we use, we are divinely connected to that power. We have forgotten that. Okay,
celestial and terrestrial. You
we've
understand?
forgotten who we
fall
are. Right, we've forgotten who we are. We believe now that we are that image that we see in the mirror. Okay, so when we come to the realization that we are not that image, that is only a figment of our imagination. That is only the digital projection of our physical self. All right, and it's only based on our agreement and what our beliefs and perspectives are. Even if we begin to take that position opens us up to higher spirituality, and it also begins to connect us to the spirit world, and or what we may call paranormal, or what we may call entities from another planet, from another universe, from another galaxy. Okay, because now we realize that what lies within us, the greater is He that is in us than he that is in the world. And these are facts, and these are things that we really have, but we have not operated in them. We don't believe that we have that. We don't believe that we could use these powers. Greater works than these shall ye do, And then what Yeshua said, greater works than these shall ye do. We
Yes,
don't
of
believe
course. He said we are coming to do greater than what he does, because he puts that in us. That is in us to do greater
right,
things.
right,
Yes, that
right. So I
of
tell
course.
people that that's what he came for, right? So, and I know this is kind of controversial. What we're taught in our churches and in our masjids and our synagogues and probably even in our tabernacles, that Jesus came to save the world, right? As the only begotten Son of God, he came to save the world, and that whole scenario. But what I believe, he came to wake us up. He came to remind us. He was trying to remind us. He was trying to tell us that you didn't need that old way any longer. We talk about the veil in the temple and the tabernacle being ripped from top to bottom because you no longer needed a priest to go to the throne of grace, that now you could boldly go to the throne of grace because you have that divine connection.
Yes, and we don't have to kill anymore. Nothing for no blood sacrifice and no
Right,
this and
right,
that
all
and
that,
that.
right. That was all man. That was all ritual, and these are the things that he
Yes,
came with.
yes, God.
That's why when
He
he
done
went to
away
the
with that.
church,
He done away with all those things.
he didn't go
You
to
know,
no church. He didn't go to no church. When he
I
went
and
to
I is
church,
the church.
you know what he was? He was a mystic. He was a sage. Okay, he was a sage, showing people a different way, telling people this is what it's supposed to be. Right? You can't find no place in the scripture where he went to church. But when he did go, there was a problem. Every time he went, there was a problem. He wound up turning over the tables, causing the ruckus in the church. He in there schooling the priests and the other Pharisees and Sadducees. And in them, you'll find no way. Don't get upset with me. Just look it up for yourself. Where the scriptures say he worshiped Yahweh.
And Charlie, just to add to your conversation, he had no church, but he didn't even have any place to live.
He was born in a barn. He was born
The
in a
world
barn.
belongs to the world is this. The world is this place.
Right. He wasn't. He on the Sabbath. What was he doing? It's on the Sabbath. He was running through the cornfields and celebrating and all that kind of stuff in the middle of the street, having the woman wash his feet and drying his feet with her hair. What kind of freckle middle nonsense is that? On the Sabbath.
That's why the so-called Jews them who say he break their tradition, which he came with the right tradition because
He was destroying the religious order. He was destroying the religious order at the time. He was a threat.
Yes,
That's what it was.
their
He was
religious order,
a
because
threat.
that was men and people. That is men and people order, and he was the order. He is the order. He is the light, and he come to show us the way, to show us that not even death could hold him down. Not even the grave could hold him. So he's telling that we can do the same thing. The grave cannot hold us down either. Once we are like him, you understand me? So he came to show us the way, the light.
Right, because what he was saying, there's no such thing as death. There's really no such thing as death.
Exactly. There is no. It's the devil. It's Satan. Call it that. It's no death. He ain't no death.
Right? You already have eternal life. You don't have to give up this body to get eternal life. You already have eternal life, even if you don't have it with this particular molecular structure. Because I ask people all the time. I say, listen, if you lose your leg, will you still be you? Automatically, the person will say yes. What if you lose your leg in your arm? Would you still be you? Yes. Because we know there's people that lost their leg and their arm. We know that there's people that got no legs and no arms, but they're still them. Well, what would happen if you lost all of your body? Would you still be you? Yes. You'd just be a nobody.
Because the spirit, man is a spirit, cannot die.
Yes, the spirit cannot die.
Even if the body,
energy cannot die. What did they tell us in science? Fundamental science. Energy cannot die. You cannot get rid of energy. It can only take forms and take shapes and be transformed. And this is what we are, energy.
That's why when Christ rise from the dead, the Romans they pays the people to tell them that it did not rise. You understand? They pays the people because he is the way and the light, and he is showing us the way that they say. He's showing us that we can death don't have any power over us, and we cannot die once we are living to the laws and the commandment of the Most High. We cannot die. You understand? Energy, I just say energy cannot die.
Energy
Can you
cannot
kill the
die.
wind? Can you kill the wind?
No.
Yeah? We are like the wind. Yeah. But the
But
demon, they
I
don't
tell
want the
people
people to
that
know the truth.
what has happened is that we have been, let's say, incarcerated as souls, as spirit, as energy in a cell of cells. All right. And we
Trapped. They trapped
believe that
us.
this trap, and we believe that this cell that we're in is us. And it is not. We are not the man in the mirror. That's just a digital impression.
That's just a vehicle for the soul. We are just a vehicle for the soul, man.
Right.
But the truth will be out soon, you know. So
But
what is happening now? The
but
truth.
I want to get in right about here, Shiloh and Charlie. There's something that has been said and has been repeated, but there's something even deeper to it. So we're speaking about, where it was mentioned about the Christ that came to show us the way, the truth, and the life. And we mentioned about, this man being a mystic, and all these things are true. But, to our very limit, we have not yet learned his teachings because simply because it is one major law that if we had observed, we would be then able to open ourselves now, enter into higher dimension where we now could achieve higher spiritual values and they're having what we would call in the layman term power. But think about it. He gave us a law. He said, love each other as you love yourself. Heaven's law of love. Now that
Yes.
law has never been able to be fulfilled because I want to say here how many people have walked that journey and yet haven't achieved the ways of Christ and are able to do the things and have the powers of Christ simply because they have lost that connection and that ability to have that pureness of heart to love. To accept, it was said to us, accept one, humble yourself as one of these little children, you'll be able to enter into heaven. Now, heaven is not a physical place whereby where's the heavens as the teachings of some pastors will make you feel that you pay enough money to the basket, you die, you go to heaven in this place, and you live in the pearly gates. It's a state of mind whereby the heaven, the hell, is a place where you can enter real quick based on how you live in. You don't have to die yet to even go. You can reach there. So we as human or just beings not able to reach there. I should say, man or mankind, because what we are seeing now, as we have the entry of other beings, I see from three different videos because there are different species of them. But what is the underlying factor that they are preaching? They are speaking of love. And they're speaking also of human ability to destroy things. So, they're against that. So, if these beings can have the ability to love, well, some of them, the ones who are benevolent, because we understand that there are some who will be tricksters as well. But they're teaching with that love and that heartfelt of love. You have superior powers, and you are able to do some of the things Christ has done. And speaking of superior powers, there are people who have some powers right now. We'll have to bring this in another show. I want to show some mysteries of Africa, things that has not been lost or forgotten, but has been long buried to keep away from the evil eye of the enemy. So I would bring this information in the next show concerning what we are able to do when you see we have powers. But we speak of love. Love is the greatest weapon, is the greatest power with love. But who can understand such things? I said, who can understand the mind of God? Who can understand the mind of a higher? Who can? Because people say when you love, and you have to love in that sort of way, people take your love for stupidity because they think they got over on you, notwithstanding the fact that you have to love this way in order to achieve certain spiritual powers or just being able to ascend into certain realms just to deal with certain business of the Almighty or some cases, just personal things. But with love, who can go wrong? With love, how can we go wrong? So we speak of love and the undying love. We speak of that, and that is the only way we can understand how Christ walked or what Christ was able to do. He turned water into wine. Now that is the mysticism of things. So therefore, we know one day we too might be able to do so. And then as far as he raised the dead, but there are parts and places and information of where such a phenomena has taken place. This mystery has also been hidden. But deep somewhere in Africa, there's a wooden hut with a woman who just did that because such videos have been exposed. They gave you a chance to peep in. But as I said, thank God they held the secret of these mysteries because the colonizer would have really done away with all of us. So, in the simplicity of things, too, where certain things are established, I try to not talk right words because it's so much with algorithms and how we can go here and there and get knock off of here. So we try to understand as best as we can that there are, in fact, ways of life that has not yet been unfolded to certain people, has not yet been unfolded to the world, but that does not mean it don't exist because one do not know about it. I try to enlighten a little bit as we go along, but when we speak of eyes wide open, or we speak of being awoke, bear in mind, when you're sleeping, there are things that you would see different from when you're awake. Life is different. Your body is different. Sleep is 1/16th of that. So picture, you have a pizza, cut it in 16 pieces, take out one slice. That's what, you're left with, 1/16th. So we are watching, where do we go with powers? We are watching the ways of Christ. We are observing how it is that man has reached such level. And we are also watching to see what's happening upon the earth. Now, what's happening upon the earth, simply, I can tell you, has always been happening upon the earth. What is happening to us, the veil has been lifted, and there's a point where we say the veil is getting thin, the veil is getting thin, the veil is getting thin. A lot of people would say the veil is getting thin and have no idea what they're talking about. But I just want to give you a little bit of info. There is a certain, I should say, body of people, scientists, I would say, but they do come from a certain organized group. They're called CERN, CERN, and they have been doing a lot of what we could say mystical things or strange things, eccentric things, but all in all, this very thing that they're doing, opening of portals, has been something that has been done a long time ago. And spiritual people would have a great idea what I'm talking about, except they would have had the caution of opening, receiving information, returning entities to their place, and closing those portals back. These things have been done along the way, and spiritual people who are gifted knows exactly what I'm talking about. CERN, however, few years ago has been attempting certain things. They even had a statue of Shiva, which is a Indian deity, a Hindu deity, in front of their establishment, just as you are getting in at the entrance point. They also, about 2 years ago, did a dance to one of the entities to appease that entity to call him or her out. Now, all these things seem like, oh my God, what mysteries these scientists, they are so brilliant. And okay, let's just slow it down for a while. These things happen among simple black people who probably can't even read their name if they see it as large as the Empire State Building. It's a gift that was given to mostly and mainly the melanated people for whatever purpose, but it's a gift so treasured, has to be used with caution, and yes, it do exist. CERN, however, has been mingling with spiritual things, entities, deities, spirits, demons. And carelessly, if called and they arrive, because they will, if you call them, if you has no control, because it's still good over evil, or you don't have someone who has that knowledge, you are really playing with fire. So there's a lot of things happening upon the earth right now, and you're wondering what's causing it. And sometimes you see a series of things happening with a pattern. As I explained earlier, I was having a conversation. There are times you could see there's a series of just rape cases in Queens and Brooklyn, and every park there's going to be a rape. Police have found that, just cases popping up, and we wonder, wow, it's almost like a season for things. Then there's a season where there's little murders. There was a season earlier, we spoke, there's plane crashes, and then it will die down. And then there are a series of events where there are incidents in the train. People just want to put somebody into the train line while the train is moving. So we see these events happening. But there was once upon a time a movie I saw, I don't know if the movies anymore, but it was about a certain entity called Azazel. Now, this entity is real, and he is known to cause a lot of havoc and chaos upon the earth. He moves from person to person by a simple touch. He can enter you into destruction if you do not have your windows and doorways spiritually closed to this entity. So we are seeing a man having to rise to a higher level in order to avoid the peril of such forces, because they are in fact forces, demonic and destructive forces that are used upon the earth to cause havoc. And this havoc is caused because there is other beings who feed off of the result of this havoc. Most times, in havoc and confusion, it brings on fear. And entities, some of them, they feed on fear. There's a period of time we feel a lot of fear is being created, sometimes for no reason. Sometimes, you know, fear comes about because a rumor has spread. I remember one time, really long time ago, I was a child, so that was a long time ago, right? There was a rumor in my island. I have to really say my island. I don't want to really call out people that certain orange juice company or factory, right? Really, they said they found a dead man floating in the vat of orange juice, which is a large, get millions of gallons of orange juice for this refinery. And that rumor spread. No one knew if it was true or not, but at 6 years old, you suddenly start drinking orange juice. You heard that rumor. You didn't even know if it was true. But Of all things, it died down. You start by drinking orange juice after you reach probably 20, you forget about it. But it was just a season for that rumor. And I am so sorry, now thinking about economics. The poor orange juice company had to close down. The family had to go into
Mm.
poverty. And children had to probably drop out of college. And all these things because of a rumor, which, when it was said, people truly believe you know. And these are the results of rumors being spread and fear being created. But in such a case, there's a lot of, as I said, entities that benefit from the fear. I was just thinking about there's a show on TV. I don't watch much television, but sometimes in passing with the news, there's a show called Fear Factor. And just last week, I was wondering, why do they have such a show? And I was particularly drawn to the advertisement of Fear Factor because it stated that it's going to be 48 hours of fear where there will be sleep deprivation and no one, and he stated no one will be allowed to go to sleep for 48 hours. Now, for people who watch regular TV, they're like, wow, that's amazing. You can get $50,000 if your team win. Or I guess if one person win, I don't know if it's a team because somebody's gonna drop asleep and they might just lose and winner will eventually be chosen, I should say. But for those who know where I'm coming with this conversation, because as I said hidden in plain sight, there's a certain entity who
I want to say something about the entity and the portals.
before you go on, you get a chance. We have some time.
When you finish.
Hold it up. We're doing live.
Oh,
We're doing this right.
hmm?
There's certain entity that would come and his forte, he will not allow you to sleep for 48 hours. And he really will not allow you to sleep because he will tell you such thing. But then there's a show called Fear Factor, which is casually mentioned. So I have my guest, Peter Shiloh, that would love to join in with us and talk about something. So I'll give you this time to join in with us, Shiloh.
Yeah, yes, blessed love. A lot of people don't know when you speak about portals and entity, but I'm trying to visualize. I have a little, but what I'm saying is these portals, when they are open, the entities come through, right? Back
Um,
back in Jamaica, back in the days, Badman never used to kill woman, nor babies, nor cut off people head. So I was wondering what is happening. You understand? These days, man killing baby, man killing children, man killing woman, man cutting off head. So I'm saying something strange is happening. So when you talk about these spiritual people opening these portals, and yes, because I heard that the Asian people were well skilled in that area, and a lot of them were in Jamaica, and they know how to open these portals. And so I'm saying, as a person, you might have more knowledge than me in that area. But I'm thinking, say, if you open up, we call it now a portal, that means say, it's an opening to another world or another some species are is in when you open something, that means to say you let in something. What happens if that portal is not closed and unauthorized entity comes through? You understand what I'm saying? Unauthorized. You persons with the spiritual knowledge or spiritual gift, they know how to open these portals and do their work. In other words, are part of the scientific, magical, whatever it is. What I'm saying is they open the portals, take in who they want to take in, and don't close it back and unauthorized entity come in and doing all kind of evilous work. I'm saying it can happen that way. That's why we're getting all these wickedness on the land. Man In Jamaica, man never used to cut off man head. Man, I cut off man head and put side on him. Man, I kill baby. Man, I kill woman. That never used to happen. So there is some strange entity on the earth. You understand? For real. I gotta see it that way. Because what you're saying about this portal is real thing. I hear people talking about it. And you know, me kind of grew up among some spiritual people. So may I say to myself, say, these spiritual people know how to open these portals. They know how. And do what they are doing and send back who. But what happened when it's open and not closed back? And for instance, then a man see it open and not closed, and him can come in unauthorized. And that entity might not be a good entity, an evilous entity, a murderous entity. And so you get so much things are going on earth right now. Even in my, I have to think that because I grew up amongst the good, the bad, and the everybody. So I never see these things which is happening now, happening before. First time even a killer or a hit man. He never used to take it to kill woman, not children.
Okay,
You
let me get a
understand?
chance to hear, Shiloh. You know, we observe what you're saying, and as he's said that crime itself, even the demonic crime, has come to a different level. So give me a chance. Let me explain something here, so that for the benefit of those who are listening on YouTube, so you can hear to and understand, understand what is really
Yes.
going on. So give me a minute, Shiloh. So I'll give you time to
No, no,
speak, and then
I'm
you come
actually
now.
finished, you know.
So this is
Yeah.
what I want to say to what's happening concerning demonic entities upon this earth. As we see, let's just put here things as let's take an onion, whereby we cut an onion and we see different layers. But to the various different layers of that onion, it's one onion held within one casing, but yet you cut and you can see different layers. Sometimes you see probably 8 layers of an onion, which is in representation of the spiritual realms that we exist. Now, within this here dimension, we are existing with other life being, other life forces. As far as portals go, there are some demonic entities that are locked away. And, even the ancient books tell us, and they're locked away and tied and bound for such a time. And those shall not be troubled with because they were locked away for a purpose, because of their very nature. But let's just speak of there are some spirits that are here, some principalities and powers, because in the book of Ephesians tell us, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, rulers of the darkness of this world, spiritual wickedness in high places. So we know we do not only wrestle against flesh and blood, which is mankind, but there are other powers, principalities, and rulers upon this earth, which is of the darkness of this world. So already we have seen 3 different types or 3 different entities that we are faced with within the darkness of this world. We have the principalities, we have powers, and we have rulers of the darkness. So, in that sort of place, whereby we see the, shall I say, I want to use the right word, the not so careful use of spiritual abilities and the carelessness of operation, whereby people can open a portal, speak to one demon or entity that they may have wish to have conversation with, because such is the case, and has not carefully returned this entity or demon to his estate, this person have carelessly done so and has given this entity a time to be upon the earth, to rule upon the earth for a period of time. But there was a time when there were many praying souls upon the earth, many, many, many. We would have seen them, especially in the Caribbean. I don't know too much how it would have been this side of town. In the younger years, let's just say, when the ladies would be on the churches and banks praying, they were by every street corner and crossroads, because, for those who understand spiritual wickedness. And as is written in the book of Ephesians, we know the crossroads could be a very busy place as to where destruction can happen. So we'll have a bunch of praying people on the Sabbath, mainly Saturday mornings. And for some of who can do different days, I imagine, prayer groups at various corners, crossroads, on the churches, on the banks, especially where public would enter back and forth. And we wondered about why these people always praying in the streets and praying like that, but there are people who carefully can see demonic activities while some people walk around just blind. And you will see these people stopping to take care of certain activities which the regular eye cannot see. And hence the reason you found these batches of people so very prayerful at all times. So, we saw those things, we come to learn and observe those things, and we wondered about it. So far, we have touched upon various topics, and we have come to a case of spiritual things. Now, spiritual things is not easily understood or interpret with a carnal mind, because your carnal mind cannot interpret spiritual things or know about it because it is just not your world. So a carnal mind cannot interpret spiritual mind. You have to be spiritually minded to do so. And to be spiritually minded is a different type of meditation. We speak of meditation, we're going to hold a meds, blah, 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 but in real, a meditation. To hold a meditation into a spiritual climb or growth, or even just to have the door open to you, first you find yourself a quiet place, a place where you can reflect on a higher energy. It's all about energy, isn't it? And therefore, reflect within oneself. Because there are a lot of people right now is wondering, how do I get spiritual? We are spiritual beings. But I know the question you want to ask is, how do I connect in the spiritual field? How do I get there? Well, you just don't get there in one day. Because, I once told someone, it's 17 years just for the ride to get there. And when you get there, you realize you're just in standard one. So, to carefully say you're there, you have to journey along, and you must journey within that aspect of love, of truth, and knowledge. So, as I said, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all that shall be added unto you. That's the added all. Wisdom is great, and wisdom is found in the simplest of places. But wisdom is great because, we speak of the 5 wise virgins and the 5 foolish virgins, and you know what was their detriment, not having oil in their lamps. So this oil as well, when we take things also, not just in a physical way, but we study in the metaphysical balance of things, we understand that that very oil is a substance of life. It's knowledge. Women ought not to be foolish because we speak here of the foolish woman and we speak of the wise woman. And upon the earth, there is such a thing as the foolish woman and the wise women. And for the brothers of out there, my 1 million listening viewers, so I love to say hi. We speak of and we pray that the men would find themselves the wise woman. So we speak with wisdom and foolishness. It is also a case of wisdom because we speak of also fear. And I want to leave you as we speak of the fear factor and the very show that created fear and the demon that controls fear to something you're learning today. But with Satan kingdom is always the opposite of God's kingdom because he tries to mimic God's kingdom. Because it is written, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and wisdom is the fear of the Lord. So therefore, we know the Almighty God, the Almighty higher, in whom we believe and we serve, for which for us, for me and my house, we shall serve the Almighty higher. The I am that I am. And we see fear is wisdom of the Lord. But as I mentioned earlier on, Satan's kingdom, he mimics. So therefore, he brings on fear, of which the wicked demons, they feed upon. And that is why the world is in such a chaotic state. Because of who is really running this place, we'll soon find out. And I long for that day, and I know Charlie can't wait for that day. So I'll give my audience a time to chime in. And Charlie, you can give me a rundown of the timing also. It sounds like I'm one of the artists about to sing. So Charlie, what we look like in time?
Our time is we're at 124. Hour 24.
All right, so we'll see what else do we have to talk about. I'll give Shiloh time to speak because I know he had just a little time. He wants to share something with us as well. Is it that way, Shiloh, that you wanted to add something to our conversation? Okay, so Charlie,
He's talking, but he's on mute.
yeah, Shiloh, I believe you
Yes,
unmute. Would you
yes,
be
yes. Yes. I
before
want
the
to say
next?
something about love. Love is
Okay,
such a powerful word, and a
sure.
blessing word. I went onto a platform and was speaking to some bubbles and some orthodox, and I was telling them that love is the answer. Perfect love cover all sin. Love can bring peace into the world. And they were telling me that listen to what that bubble said to me now. So you love injustice. I said injustice. I didn't tell you that I love injustice. The person that do me injustice, I have to love that person still because that person still can find salvation through love. You understand? If you do me something evil, I can forgive you. So Christ, when Christ was leaving this earth, he said to Thomas, since as you cannot keep all the commandments, keep one. Love covereth all sin. Love is the solution for the problem of the world. Love. Me not talk love of vanity and money. Love of one another. Love and respect one another. So the Bible said to me now, say, so you love injustice. I said, listen to me, brother. I'm speaking of love. You speaking of injustice, so maybe you love injustice. I don't love injustice. If, in other words, then Christ, Rastafari, and I is when we say Jah Rastafari Emmanuel, he is ever living, ever merciful and forgiving. That's Christ. He forgives. You understand? And to love is to forgive. So I was telling him that. So he stopped. He could not say nothing more to me because he was trying to make me look like a clown. When I was telling him that love is the answer, that's the right way we must go, love. Look how much war a fight and no peace can come right now. Even before I come on this earth here, war is fighting. The right war is not fighting. The war which is going on right now is God and Satan a fight, good and evil, fighting right now, right and wrong. Which side are you on? He's saying, I love injustice. Did I tell you that I love injustice, Bridget? But some people, just because the enemy might doing something wrong, I do have to do him back something wrong to you understand me? To get even with him. Love covereth all sin. Perfect love and friendship reigns to all eternity. God never make people on earth become war and kill one another. God create woman for have fun and joy and love. You understand? And make peace and have a nice time. People done us wrong and we forgive them. You understand? That the only way we go have joy and love and peace on earth. War, 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 kill, kill, kill. No, 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 that's gonna work. Not gonna. All right, look at the injustice they are doing to black people, to I and I, right? Look, even in America, we build the White House, and at the same time, the ruler tell him that the black man doesn't belong here, and you don't have a right here, and it's you build it. We build the Black House, and they call it the White House. You see it? Why didn't they call it the People's House? That's a big injustice. But we forgive them. We, God's children, is children of love. I don't know what you want to call him. Me call him Emmanuel. You understand? What you want to call him is your business, but he has to represent love. It is not God. If it's not the real God, you're not talking about love. You don't know God if you don't know love. So God is not about looks. It's treatment, or you treat people. The treatment. His Imperial Majesty. You ever see His Imperial Majesty I treat people like how some of these Rasta and Bubba them I treat people? No. His Imperial Majesty is calm, loving, cool. The man do the man is so humble. And him is a Christ in the flesh. You understand me? It's Christ in the flesh. And his love is the answer. No care what happened. All these people doing wicked things to us. Love overcome them. You see? Yeah, man. For real. So love is the answer. Love is the way. We need a love revolution to take over the world right now. Love revolution. We're gonna do it through music.
Thank you very much, Peter Shine, for expressing, what you think about love, and as we share the evening and we continue within a time. But there's something I want to say particularly why I crossed you in your conversation. As we speak about love, and love is the answer, and that's the truth, that's the ultimate truth. But let us just face it, it's quite a discipline to trod, to reach within certain dimensions where you can say you have arrived at the knowledge of love and knowing what true love is. If it was so easy a task, many would find it, because I have sat with many who believe they had found love, or know what love is about, or they have given love, or they live a life of love. And there are certain times when certain things face them. You will see certain decisions they have made that you knew their heart has not yet been totally filled with love. So it is not an easy place to just get there. Christ being the example of love shows us, but daily it's a walk by which you journey to get there. And if you get there and you find that place, you would not be able to remove yourself from that place, because the greatest place you can be is the most peaceful place you can bring your soul to within that pinnacle. So love is a place we journey to and we try to find it, because life itself is a pursuit of happiness. But sometimes along life journey, one do not find love. But if we should find love, let's cherish it. Let's learn to find it if we so can. But there are certain disciplines and laws that we must undertake on that journey in order to receive that gift of love. Knowing how the Almighty love, or for Him to take us into His bosom, out of this world, just to love us, is something really special. And when you find God's love, you know how to love. You become an example of love, because now you are an ambassador for love. But it's a journey, and many people give lip service to it. Say, I love. Love is not an easy battle to be won. It took me a long time to find a place where I can say I can truly love unconditional. Because when you love, you are faced with certain journeys. Even for people who speak of love, know not yet what love truly is. Because if love is forgiveness, and it is, how come we now choose who we forgive and who we don't? When forgiveness have to be something over the board. If you're going to forgive the ants, you have to forgive the elephant, and so forget the crow. So therefore, when we say we love, we are putting ourselves in certain places, because there's a certain dimension to which you can approach love. Because love, there are certain people who it's so difficult even to love them. You have to put up and turn the other cheek, and you have to remember the Almighty high on you just to love them. It can't even come natural. You have to try to love them. You have to bring yourself to love them. So then, to spit out love, like if we can just love and be I have accomplished love, I know how to love, I'm better than you, I can love. Love is not an easy thing. Love is a journey by which you move from different stages. There are people I know who say they love. There are even married couples who say they love. They have gotten married for 30 years. And one day the man wake up and he turned around and said, but wait, so you just really look? And he laughed. That was 30 years of love. So we know that love should be something everlasting, because then we know true love. But how do we know true love while we are still among people who may say they love us? We are still among an earth where we can say we love people, but yet in real, have we found true love? Do we know what it is to really love? Have you taken that journey to know? It's very painful because it hurts. Love hurts. And that's the truth. And love is only really for a heart who could stand that pain. So therefore, it is a good discipline, it's a good place to reach. It's a really good pinnacle, and it's great boasting rights when we can say, I love you, I love you. But get me on the wrong side. Do you still love me? Do I still love you? So we know that journey. But if one could find unconditional love and the pain of loving and have the heart that could take the pain to love, then you have found it. And congratulations. You can now come over on this side. But it's such a painful journey, but it's a joy of which when you love, you are free. It's a freedom. It's a freedom. Because when you hold people in your heart and you have evil energies around you, it's a burden. It's actually a prison that you put yourself in. So may we find love, may we journey to that free land, and may we learn to love each other as the Almighty Higher have loved us. We were not given laws for our inconvenience, but we're given the laws so that we can live happily ever after. In the happily ever after. For one shall not die truly, but the spirit shall transcend. And where shall we be in that place? Because there's a place designed for those who have done wickedly as well. Because we are going to be in different dimensions when we leave this envelope, because we are just enclosed in this envelope. We try to keep the envelope looking proper, but we are just a spirit having a human experience as we pass through this here dimension. What we pass, let us pass it in love, knowing that love is the answer. It is the answer to every question. It is. And when we examine our higher self and we understand what the journey really was and who we really are to each other, we will learn to love a little more. And then we will see that we are not so different, but we are more of the same than we are different. And may we find love because we are entering a new place where love is the key to this entry. So for this evening, we want to round up. I want to thank my guests for coming on. I want to thank you very much, Peter Shiloh, for coming on and sharing with us the things of love and the things of examining that we take from under the mat. We put that right back. And always and truly thank you for the jingle that you have made for us. The Woman Auxiliary cannot thank you enough. As I said, we'd be forever young without that video. And Charlie, our engineer, oh, so much thanks to you, Charlie. It's almost like, what can I do without you, Charlie? Sundays would never be the same. But we continue to journey forward. This is Sadi Gomez of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated of the Woman Auxiliary, Locus 26. And we came to you live and alive. And to all my wonderful viewing audience who's going to catch me up on YouTube, I want to say, please press the like button. Don't forget to subscribe so the bell can notify you. And we are coming to you again next Sunday evening. We're going to be live and alive once the Almighty and highest spirit of our life. For with Him only, He can give us life because He is life and the keeper and the author of my life. So I want to say good night, bye bye. Charlie, you can take us out.
Peace.
And may I select and be praised to whom all praise our due is the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated Women Auxiliary presents Empress Sadi Saunders.